only, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with residents.
Well, I agree that it should be residents, but I really am not. If you want to have a bazaar, go for it.
At $10?
Yeah, I mean, they're already paying taxes.
So you don't care if they make money. So
No,
you're different than where Dennis is.
No, I'm commercial all the way.
Okay, so I don't know. I personally, I don't really care either, to be honest with you. I'm worried about liability.
Yeah, that's the only thing
I'm very
I'm
worried about the
They
liability.
would have to sign that if they, each person that rents a booth would have to sign that if there is anything damaged, then their insurance is going to take care of it, not ours.
But if somebody comes and wants a Tupperware party and they're part of the community, they could have it.
Sure.
Or if they want to have a gun party, they could have it.
Yeah, if they're a resident, I think that's a service that
you
you offer to your residents. That's what it's here for.
Okay, so I think, Dennis, you're the only one that's...
Well, that's, you know how I'm gonna vote.
Yeah,
because that's how I feel.
That's okay.
fine.
I don't
fine.
think that, I think we should differentiate between commercial and personal use.
Okay, so do you want to vote? We don't really have a resolution, though.
Not yet. If we're going to not add the commercial avenue or vehicle to this
Right.
lease agreement, then that has to be in a resolution.
We are going to add it because we're going to say there's no differentiation.
Okay, all right.
Right now you have 3 votes. I don't know what Kathy would vote, but you have 3 votes that would go for no differentiation if they're a taxpayer and a resident. I guess a resident. They have to be a resident, right?
No, I said resident or taxpayer.
Resident or a taxpayer.
Okay. Between a private party or commercial endeavor.
So can you get that finalized from Tim and then we can vote on it next month?
Oh, I hope.
Okay. Okay, good.
We all know what that's about. And then, were we going to go with a motion for $10 per rental as long as a resident of Mullett Township on the east side?
Yep. Is everybody okay with that, $10?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have John handle it.
Okay, so
That
who's
can't
gonna
be
make the motion?
If you go resident, that's gonna eliminate like the East Mullett Property Owners Association. They're all live someplace else.
But they're taxpayers.
You said resident.
Oh, but we said resident or taxpayer.
Okay, she just.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry, thanks, John.
Okay, I'm correcting. She said just
Okay.
residents.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
yes, I got you.
Okay, so you want a resolution for that.
Okay, so I need a motion,
Okay.
person who wants to make it.
Well, I'll make the motion that the East Mullett Lake Hall have a fee of $10 for any resident or taxpayer
Of Mullett Township,
of Mullett Township.
okay.
And then,
And John Barrett will
And
handle the signatories.
we'll handle paper.
I'll second it. Discussion. I just have but then it would be under the same proposal as, they would handle it the same way, right? As
All-
what we're going to have next month.
All lease agreements
Right. Would be the same.
are the same.
Yep, okay, great. Then I'm okay. Is there any other discussion? All in favor?
You wanted that, I'm sorry, you wanted that added to this motion. That's
Yeah,
what I did.
yeah, right.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just.
because I
wanted
want to make sure that when we bring this thing back next month,
Yeah, we don't have.
we don't have to do this again.
Please read my motion back to me.
Motion to have East Mullett rented at $10 per rental as long as a resident or taxpayer of Mullett Township. John Parrott will handle the paperwork, and all these agreements will be the same.
Okay.
If I find a better way to word that ending of it. Oh,
Why?
lease agreement's the same for both
Township, or both
sides,
both halls or something.
or both halls.
Well,
That's good.
here's discussion.
Yeah, we're in the discussion right now.
Yeah. I made the motion.
I second it.
You seconded it.
And we're in discussion.
And everybody's adding to my motion. And I never said nothing about the lease agreements from the other side of my motion.
Okay.
Okay,
Then that's why I
So
asked in
if
the
you want to add
discussion.
these things to my motion, that's why I asked for it to be read back.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Is so that I could understand
Yep.
what my motion is going to be worded like, because I was pretty careful the way I said it, and then when you add to it, I want to make sure something's not getting added that I didn't make in my motion.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's why it was open discussion. I said, you know, it has to be the same as the other side for the lease agreements, because we have a liability. So I was adding to your motion.
And when you say that, right away, my mind says it's $10 over there too.
Yeah, I can't go $10 over there, I'm sorry.
I didn't think you wanted to go there, but that's the way I'm hearing it.
No,
Good point. Good point. Would we like to clarify that, please?
well then, how are we gonna, we have to say something that they're held to the same,
My motion was for
Standards.
this hall.
Only.
So, I mean, and I have no problem if you want to share lease agreements, but I have a problem if you want to charge the same amount.
no, we
No,
weren't talking that.
no.
What I'm concerned about, John, is that we have a signature of the people sign something that gets us out of the liability, or at least keeps us at least one step away from liability. So I don't know what the right word is to put in that, in your motion, but we have to put something in your motion around the lease agreement. The lease agreement being the same as the other side. I mean, let's have one
But they're
agreement.
not the same, they're two different charges.
Well, yeah, but
That will come in the
minus the charges.
resolution.
Yeah, minus the charges, the,
Okay, so the lease agreement doesn't have charges in it then?
No.
Okay, so
No.
for clarity, that helps me.
Yeah, we made a motion for the other side only about,
3 months ago.
4 or 5 months ago. And that was 45, that passed. I can look it up, and on the minute thing, I know about when it happened. And would that clarify it? If I bring that
If
next
it
month?
says 45 over there and 10 here, I'm okay, but they're
Okay.
not the same in this motion, the way we're passing this motion.
Okay,
They're
I
not the
think
same.
what, the clarification, I think, is that both lease agreements are the same, not that the price
Not
is
the
the same.
cost.
Now, we can make a separate motion.
I
And-
made a
and-
motion, and she
Yeah,
supported
okay.
it, but
And John
so-
Parrott will handle the
but-
paperwork,
right.
that's
and
where
just
I
leave it
ended
there.
it.
Yeah.
And leave it there.
Leave
And
it
then
there.
we have to.
Wanna leave it there?
We have to next month sign or agree to the lease agreements.
Yeah, and if that
And once
doesn't
we-
include numbers, then I'm fine with it.
Then,
Okay,
yeah,
it will not, that's Tim's.
maybe that's the way to do it.
That's Tim's recommendation, not to have numbers on the lease agreement, so you can use it for other things.
Okay,
Say you wanted to, we want to go to commercial, or we want to, so can I strike your?
Yeah,
and
fine. I was just making my,
That could be a second
yeah.
motion.
No, I'm fine. Because when we approve this next month, the rental agreement for both sides, then it's done. I'm
Mhm.
fine.
okay.
Okay, and then if we're gonna do the commercial thing, are we gonna think about that?
We're adding no commercial, right? That's what you put on to add into the lease agreement.
There is no differentiation
Right.
between private or commercial endeavors
Right.
that rent.
That's what you're gonna put in, and we'll have a vote
Okay.
on it next time.
I'm sorry, I got.
Okay.
I got out in the weeds.
Okay, we finished discussion. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
All
No.
opposed?
Nay.
Okay,
Okay, just a minute.
the motion passed.
Opposed, Dennis.
4.
Okay, let's do the approval of the.
I wanted the records to document that I'm against commercial use.
No, we're not voting.
We're
on
not
commercial
voting
vote.
on that, we're
All
voting
we're
on the
voting on is the
$10 over
$10 for
here.
this hall.
Well, I'm okay with that, except that there's commercial, we didn't differentiate commercial use, so.
We're
No.
gonna talk that at the next, when we
But
get the
it's
rental
$10 across the board here. The only
Right.
reason I voted no is because if somebody wants to use this hall for commercial use, I think the rate should be higher.
agreement. Okay,
Oh, okay,
Okay, that's
okay,
fine.
I got you. So
But
I
still-
got you down as an opposed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Can we move on to the approval of the lighting for Giauque Beach?
Yeah, okay. Well,
Giauque Beach is, I did call I think you
Yeah.
probably did too. It is a public road.
it
for
is
the
a
road
public
commission.
road, yes. So
No,
now,
I'm sorry. Giauque Beach is not a public road. I sent each of you an email regarding the conversation with the county commission, with the county road commission. Upper Giauque Beach.
We are not talking right now. We've had public comment.
Well, if Mr. Garlick can get a light, then I want a light on each driveway for my pole barn.
he's not.
Please, you're out of order, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is this
Rachel?
motion?
This is a resolution that Consumers Energy demands before they will install any light fixture. Resolved that it is hereby deemed advisable to authorize Consumers Energy Company to make changes in the lighting service as provided in the standard lighting contract between the company and the Township of Mullett dated 5/1/2014 in accordance with the authorization for change in standard lighting contract dated, and that would be today's date, heretofore submitted to and considered by this board, and resolved further that the Mullett clerk be and are authorized to execute such authorization for change on behalf of the township.
Is there somebody that will make that, or is this a resolution, right? So we need
This is a resolution, and
you need
yeah, we would have to take a roll call vote on that. I just have to fill this out with your permission. That's all I have to do. And I have the certification down at the bottom. I, Rachel Osborn, clerk of the Township of Mullett, do hereby certify that the foregoing resolution was duly adopted by the board of said municipality at the meeting held on today. So let's take a roll call vote just to be safe.
Okay, is there any discussion on this?
Yes, because I think I was under the impression that this was not a county road, that this was a private road.
I called Brent and asked him if Giauque Beach was a public or private road. He told me it was a public road. I asked him twice. I think Rachel called him. Did you
No,
call
I
him?
didn't call him.
There are two Giauque Beach roads.
So he told me that Giauque Beach was a public road. He said, we plow it,
No,
I
they
said,
do not
that's
plow it.
all I need to know.
I believe that when we looked at this earlier or discussed it, one part of that road is private, but the whole road is not.
I asked him
And
that.
I remember working down there years ago when I was working construction and doing remodeling, and I was pretty sure then that one section where Bud's house was private, that they were having people plow it. Now, this was 30 years ago now.
Yeah, we can go back and ask him again, but I asked him specifically about the area, and he said that is a total public road. So, I don't know unless we take him down there and say, is this the public road? I mean, I gotta trust the road commission.
I like
the road
Brett,
commission.
and he's doing a very good job, but I'm not he's fairly new with our roads here, even though he's from Indian River, and maybe this is worth revisiting with him.
Okay, I'm fine to.
Just to be sure.
632 Chokes.
Private road. Anything on the lake was a private road.
What is public is the gravel road
Mhm.
that goes, well, there's two roads. There's the beach road itself and the gravel road that is behind it. What is public is the gravel road that goes all the way to the beach road, which would, I think it ends at the beach road. I don't know where the lighting is planned to be placed, but I presume it is at that corner,
No.
which would be probably township property, but I do not know that. All I know is that the beach access road where all the houses are, that is private.
That's a private road. Yeah, that's what I was remembering, because we worked, I worked on a house remodeling, 2 different house remodeling jobs years ago, and there was a private person came in and did snow plowing, so.
Okay, well, what do you want to do, Rachel?
I'll call him. Get a map.
Tell him to maybe bring Shane down there. That would be the best thing to do.
I'll get a map. I gave you the address, and I'm sure
I
you
know.
checked the same address.
I did too.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I gave him the exact address.
632 Chokes, and
Yeah.
they're claiming that it's public.
That's what he told me. So, let's go back. He's on vacation this week, or I would have tried to get him here.
Back yet.
But the
Okay.
house is on the lake, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's right on the lake.
But they don't want it by their house. It's in another area. It's at the south end.
The pole's by their house.
Okay, we'll table that for next meeting. We'll talk again with Brent. Sheboygan County Capital Improvement Program.
Should I get a map?
No, let's just go down and see him. I'll go down and see him.
You go down?
Yeah.
632
Yep,
Chokes?
I'll go down
Okay.
again. Just give me exactly the location and I'll take it down with me when I go, but I talked to him.
Well, that's what that's the,
I know.
I mean,
The location of the lighting.
the comments from Consumers Energy.
Correction, this chapter.
Street lighting, notification number, they've got the number and everything.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want that?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you a copy. I'll
Just
send you a
it.
copy.
No, I'll stop by tomorrow.
All right.
Okay, Sheboygan County Capital Improvement, that's just an update, right, Rachel, that you
Oh,
put
wait a
the,
minute. Where are we? I
we're
lost
right
track.
under Giauque Beach. That's just that you put it in the Topinabee Beach Improvement Project on the list.
Oh, okay. We already
Yeah.
basically went through that when I read the
And
letters.
the budget submitted to the Cheboygan allocation, that's just a formality.
The election salaries for the Michigan state election, I thought that they were going to, where, are you on budget?
I'm
allocation?
on budget submitted to the Cheboygan
Oh,
County
yeah,
Allocation
that's
Board.
just for your information.
Yep.
The Cheboygan County Allocation Board is being reconvened. I don't think they did it last year, although I did send them a budget. And they're being reconvened. I know that because I went to that meeting. And I sent mine in already, and they look at it and they go, gee, nice, you're doing something nice with your money.
Yeah,
That's all that
I think
is.
that's
all they do.
Okay, FOIA policy update.
Well, I talked to Tim about that sometime last week, I guess. That's not something that we can do by ourselves. That's going to be something that he has to bring it up. He will have to bring the actual policy up to date and educate us on what we can and can't do. It's gotten a lot more complicated thanks to the legislature.
Okay, so do
So
we want to have next?
I'm not comfortable doing that at all.
Do you want to do that at the next meeting?
Yes, and
Okay.
he will, there's a little bit of misinformation on the street lighting situation, which he'll clear up.
Okay,
for
great.
us.
Okay, election salaries for the Michigan State.
Well, I thought that they were gonna set the rate, and they're not gonna set the rate for the election salaries. The election commission cannot do that. That has to be done by the board. And we can stay with what we're doing, or we can, I put extra money in the budget for that. If we wanna keep it the same, that's fine, I don't care. I think we're a little low compared to other people.
Well, what do you want the salaries to be? Why don't you just make a proposal?
I'm proposing that we go to 11 and 12. 11 for the workers, 12 for the manager.
Okay.
But
Is
that's up to
everybody-
the board.
Is everybody okay with the election salaries being 11 for the workers and 12 for the manager for this election? This is just for the Michigan
No,
election.
that would go. That
May
would just
5.
keep going on because we haven't raised those in
What are the salaries right now?
10 and 11.
Okay,
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that too. Do you want to make a motion?
Support.
No discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And that's per hour. I'll
Yep.
put it in the motion.
Yep.
So who made? Dennis?
John and Dennis. Any board comments? John?
Oh,
Tim.
yeah, sorry. I do have some board comments. Boy Scout Park. Mel started that project. He didn't get finished before winter came on. There's branches down to be chipped. There's trees that are marked and haven't been removed yet. I think it warranted talking about this month, so it didn't get into next month and the holidays, Memorial Weekend, and all that stuff. I'd like to see him.
Finish it up. Yep.
Yeah, while the ground's froze, he can still get around right there, but if he waits until it thaws out, it's gonna be a mucky mess.
Okay, so I'll give him a call.
Okay. And then the other thing was board of review. I thought it would be nice if the board of review minutes was put on our website so our residents could see how many complaints were handled, how many new permits were issued for the year.
Sure.
There's just a lot of FYI information. We've not really typically done that. I just thought it would be good as a matter of practice for us to put those minutes on the web.
Who's gonna do it?
I can do it. We can get it from Clayton.
Can I just send it over to Paul?
Yeah, sure, I'll do it. I'll get Clayton to do it. We have all that stuff. It's all PDF'd. It's easy to put in.
Okay.
So I think those two things that you've mentioned, we have housing, I think it's housing starts, and the minutes are pretty straightforward. There's nothing much in the minutes, but I think housing starts, and there's another one of permits that were, matter of fact, we get a picture of
I know there's
a
one
map
for
of permits.
and then there's also, Roger was very good at saying we handled so many complaints.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
37 this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
37
just
people.
FYI information
Yep.
for the residents. I just thought it would be nice if it was on the web.
Yeah, I'll talk to Clayton. We'll get that on there.
That's
Dennis?
Actually, I was thinking you were going to bring it up. John and I talked with Brett and Ken at the county MTA meeting, and they had some questions, on the Devereaux Lake, East Mullett Lake Road project. And we expressed our desire to have paved shoulders, not just to pave over the road. And they also wanted to talk with us about, if we weren't willing to participate in the project this year, maybe we could find money for the intersection and work that intersection in.
That's what I was trying to, yeah. I knew there was something that you were, so how much is the intersection? What would that cost me?
They didn't give us a number. They were willing to work it up, but they are not going to do the intersection this year at all. They're going to the intersection. And, that was just, Brett threw that out as, well, maybe if you'd like to participate, if we had a little extra money, we could get that done. And then
we could talk about East Mullett Lake Road.
Later.
Yeah, later.
Yep.
Well, should I talk to him? I mean, I called him this week, but he's not going to be in until next week. Should I ask him to give us an estimate on the intersection?
Well, I think it's worth discussing myself. I mean, this whole road out here needs to be reworked.
Right. It makes good sense on what, and I had forgotten about that, Dennis, but we did talk about the paving a bicycle path or something similar along the edge of Devereaux Lake Road. He informed us that if he did, it would crack away from the existing road.
Right.
But we thought that would still save from them carving on the edge the way they have been with the blades down.
Well, he said it means crush and shape. Well, I'm almost certain, my feeling is that he should crush and shape anyway, because that road has got so many layers of patches on it right now that any one of those patches is likely to set up a reflective crack anyway. Mm-hmm. And so we'd be further ahead and end up with a better road if he crush and shaped the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then he would be in a position to do a decent shoulder pave without getting a cracked shoulder right off the bat. But he agrees with John and I that the reason why our edges of our roads are tearing up is because there is no shoulders.
Yeah.
And the snowplows are just tearing the edges of the roads off.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask him for an estimate, and see what he comes up with.
Yeah.
Did he say when they were gonna start Devereaux Lake Road?
He did not.
Mhm.
I'll ask him that too. Just to stay with that, I talked to Shane today because I want to remind him about Birchwood, and he's already been down there to look at Birchwood again. He's taken Brent out there to look at Birchwood. He thinks that it may cost us a little bit extra gravel money to get Birchwood, but he thinks he can do Birchwood without it being a project. But he and Brent are going to go back and take a look at it. So he said it's still, a month away because it's just, they can't
Right.
decide. But he thinks that they may be able to get the berm fixed and some other stuff without us putting a huge amount of money into it. But he'll let me know if it has to be a project or not shortly. So I'm just going to stay on Birchwood because I want to get that at least done.
Okay. And I did not drive, but I looked at South Extension Road tonight coming home. And the southmost point from Mullett Board to
Yep.
Mail Road, and that road looks horrible.
Yeah, we've got to find out if we can get, because of where South Extension is, if they'll pay that themselves without us being involved in it. So they made some comment that they could do it, and so I'll follow up on that too.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just,
Well, we knew that was going to be a mess.
yeah, and I'm surprised that your phone hasn't been ringing off the hook, because it looks like it's about a 4-wheel drive 2-track right now.
Wow. Okay, I'll talk to him about those three. Rachel, you got anything else?
Yeah, we have to approve the MacArthur contract,
Oh, yeah.
and I need a motion to approve the contract with MacArthur Law Firm for fiscal year 2015-16 with a $500 retainer.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Everything else?
No, that's the only thing I have.
Okay, I have a motion to pay the bills.
We got Dennis and I come up with one question on the bills.
Okay.
He put a line by the item. It's on the roster that we normally sign, but we can't find the check in the package.
It's right there.
When we go through that
I
package,
hope she didn't mail that to her. That could have happened. That little thing could have gone to Ann.
Is Patty's check there?
No, Patty's
Sometimes
was-
that happens.
Maybe it's Patty's wasn't there.
Patty's is here. I bet you it
Oh,
got put in
okay.
the envelope. That happens every now and then. I'll bring it next month.
well, I'll make a motion to pay the bills with that one item notice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you marked it. I'll make sure I get, that's easy enough to do. Copy to board.
Okay, second.
I support.
All in favor of paying the bills?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. And I'll make the motion, we adjourn the meeting. Our next meeting will be May 12th at 7 o'clock in Topinabee Hall, Township Hall.
I need you to sign the additional retainer. That's just the way it is, and there's 2 copies, the first one and the second one both need to be signed. And then I have your signature on the copy.